Welcome in, everybody. We'll start in 4 minutes.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Mike. I wasn't able to come last week.
Okay, that's all right. I'm Neela Toga. I'm your teacher, and we'll make the recordings available for you so that you can catch up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey, Juanita, long time.
Totally forgot about last week, and then when I finally did, my computer wasn't working, and then when it decided it wanted to work again, it was the last 5 minutes of class.
Oh, bummer. I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll share the recordings. René's going to upload them to the website he used last year, so it'll be on linkitlanguage.com. For folks just coming in, make yourselves at home. We'll start in 2 minutes. At Kaudachit, it's time. Yak'éi satini stakatiohan, Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí. Ach tu Yak'éi yeey.aadí chwalqaini ya yagitsa. Neela Toga aya. Lingít X. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thanks for being here. I feel good just looking upon your faces. And my name is Neela Toga. I'm your Lingít language teacher. This is week 2 of our class. I heard some folks are just joining us who weren't able to be here last week, and I will be sending out a link soon on where you can access the recordings. You can catch up. But this is Lingít Fall 2023. This class is sponsored by Hatúch KTOO, and Discovery Southeast. It's a multi-level class, and we'll talk more about what it means to be part of a multi-level class. But for now, let's get started. So this is a review of what we learned last week. Repeat this phrase after me. Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi haat.
And make sure this haat is nice and long since the 2 vowels are together. That's the duration that you're saying it, so it should be nice and long. So repeat just this word after me. Hot.
Haat.
And the whole phrase. Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi haat
yeey.aadí.
Sound good. Any questions on last week's phrase before we move on? Okay. So for vowels, we're going to review vowels since we're just coming back together after taking the summer off. And it's always good to touch base on your vowels. So this is a graph I took from the beginning Lingít workbook that spells out all the vowel sounds. You can see from the table that there's a side for short vowels, which means that the amount of time you're pronouncing the vowel is short. And there are also long vowels where you elongate them. You also have tones. You'll have a low tone column on this side and a high tone column to the right. So can everybody see my mouse cursor here? Okay, I'll bring it to the letter. I'll say it, and I would like everybody to unmute their mics and repeat after me. Repeat after me. And then high tone. And a single low E. And high tone. Low short I. High tone. Low short U. And high tone. Sounds good. Now we have our long vowels, and again we'll start with low. The double A. Repeat after me. Ah. Compare that to the short low A. Repeat after me. And long again. Ah. And then high tone. Ah. The long version of a single E is spelled E-I, and you pronounce it, repeat after me, A. So let's do the short one, And then the long version, A. And now high tone, A. The next one is a double E, repeat after me, E. This is an elong version of what you see written as an I. So let's do the short I. And now a long version, E. And then high tone, E. Next is a double O. Repeat after me, oo. And then there's a slash with a variation that has an underline under the O. And this sounds like, repeat after me, O. So the short version is written as a U. Repeat after me, And then long and low, oo. And then with the underline, O. This can also exist in high tone, so oo. And then O. So I overemphasize the length of the long tone so that we can make a habit of distinguishing between short and long. As our speaking becomes more natural, it won't be quite so elongated, but we're still in the beginning phase. Any questions on those?
What is the underlined O with the hyphen on top? What is that?
The underlying O makes it an O sound. The only word I know with this sound in it is the clan name from the interior, Coqueton.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Any more? I welcome questions as we go, so if something pops into your mind, just either unmute or put your hand up. So we're going to jump back to this phrase that we learned last week. We're going to practice the vowels. Can anyone in this room not see colors?
Yak'éi, haat, yeey.aadí.
Yeah, good job reading. Okay, so
Can you remind me what this phrase says?
Yeah, good question. This whole phrase means it's good that you all have come here. It's a phrase for addressing multiple people. It's a welcoming
I
phrase.
wrote it down wrong, but when you broke it down last week, you said it is to hear that you all came.
You wrote it down correctly. I had a typo in my slide. I caught it yesterday. So where it says it is, it should say it is good for this first word, Yak'éi.
Okay, so it is good.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Thank you
just writing it down because I'm just like, that's not what I got written.
Yeah, something was missing. Yep, that was it. I caught it yesterday too. So Yak'éi should be it is good or it is great.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
Yak'éi.
so your A is pronounced more as an E.
Are you talking about this letter A?
Yeah, Yak'éi.
This this letter A should be pronounced as like if you see a dog, the way you say
So it's Yak'éi.
Yeah, oh wait, it's Yak'éi.
Yak'éi.
Yeah. This apostrophe lets you know to pinch the K, so you snap it. K.
Yak'éi.
Yeah. This was really good conversation, and thank you for your question. So we're going to focus on the vowels of this phrase because I want to teach you how I practice the melody of a sentence. As I mentioned before, vowels can have difference in length as well as tone. So we're going to see a series amongst the vowels of short, long, high tone, and low tone. So we're going to practice them. So let's just do the red letters, which are the vowels. Repeat the first one after me. And then the high tone EI, A. So saying just the vowels in this word after me, both the and A, repeat after me. A. Now, that's right. Yep, that's the melody of the word. A. So next word, the vowels repeat just these after me. This double A. Next one, a double E that's low tone. Repeat after me. E. Another double low A. And then a short high. Repeat after me. Now repeat. Yeah, that sounds good. Now repeat these last two, just the vowels after me. And then, perfect. Now starting with the E all the way to the end. And then the double A, starting from the double A all the way to the end. Now we're starting from the very first vowel and repeat the whole string of vowels after me. E, a, I, a, e. Mhm. Now repeat. Yep, you sound good. That's the melody of the sentence. Now repeat the whole thing after me, including the consonants. Yak'éi, haat, yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi,
yeey.aadí.
Yep.
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is there a transcript in the sound language, you know, this international strange signs, which define the vowels and the length and everything?
I don't
Like
know. Go ahead.
you know what I mean?
No, but I'm curious to know what you mean. I've never heard of
Ah.
it before.
I suppose
I'll
it's
wait,
the,
I'll look for something.
which is the APA.
Can I ask a question
International
as well?
Phonetic Alphabet.
Okay. I will look up the international sound language and review that for next week.
Yeah, that's the phonetical alphabet. Yeah, somebody mentioned that. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And there was another question. Who was it?
Yeah, can you repeat just the last part? Like that glottal stop in the middle is a little confusing to me. The last part, can you just repeat it one more time?
Yeah, and I'll say it without the glottal stop for comparison.
Okay.
So what the glottal stop, which is this period, what that does is it tells you to stop the air in your throat before you say the ah. If it wasn't there, then this word would sound like yeey.aadí, but you're stopping the air, so you say, repeat after me, yeey.aadí.
yeey.aadí. yeey.aadí.
Mm-hmm. Yeey.aadí. Yeah. Yep. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Does it change the meaning if you don't pronounce the glottal stop correctly?
Yes. This word needs to have a glottal stop before the AA. It's an important part of what this root word is.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Vanessa, you have a question?
I just wanted to make a comment while we were going through the vowels without the consonants. It kind of sounded like we were saying other like commonly used words or phrases like haat or ah. Like once you start like pulling it all together, it was just kind of cute. And I thought I'd mention it. Sorry.
Oh, that's very cool. You don't have to be sorry. That's interesting that it made those connections to other words for you. I like that. Okay, let me check on the chat. Awesome. Okay. Any other questions before we move on? Now I'm going to read to you, and this is your time to sit back and relax. Just let your eyes move over the screen, over the words as I read this short excerpt to you. So it goes, Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí. Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí. Nila toga aya qunana sayi. Jamin qwana yachat. Qunana yadich khatsati. Lingít X. Translation: It is great that you have come here. My Athabascan name is Nila Torah. I am German American. I am child of the Athabascan people. I am a Lingít language teacher. So that bold phrase that we focused on last week and we're going to build on today is Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí. That means it is great that you have come here. An alternative phrase, so we're getting kind of 2 for 1. Repeat this after me. Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Sheesh, had yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm. So focusing on the pronunciation of our new phrase, we're going to zero in on the Lingít L. The L sound in Lingít is called a voiceless L. To say it, you start with a voiced L, just as you hear in the English language. So repeat the voiced L after me. L. Where's the tip of your tongue when you make that sound? For me, it's in the back of my front top teeth, right here. Say it again. Now, to make that sound without activating our voice box, we're just going to keep our tongue there at the back of our teeth and breathe out the sound. So repeat after me. Let it flow. Just let it flow nice and long for practice. Now say the word after me. Gunalchéesh. Again, Gunalchéesh. Yeah, you sound good. The area where I want to distinguish is a voiceless L is not the same as a silent L. So I don't know if you remember from grammar school when we learned about silent letters in the English language. For example, in the word height, like what's your height? There's a GH in the middle that you write, but you don't say it. You don't pronounce it. It's silent. It doesn't make a sound. That's different from a voiceless L, and I sometimes have seen people mistake that for, oh, it's a silent L, meaning when they say Gunalchéesh, they skip it and they'll say Gunalchéesh, which is a common mistake, and it's okay if that's where you were at before today. But starting now, I want to hear everybody continuing your good pronunciation of Gunalchéesh.
Gunalchéesh.
There you go. Okay, so repeat after me. Lingít. And Gunalchéesh.
Gunalchéesh.
Yeah. You sound good. So let's focus on our new phrase. We're gonna drill it. Repeat after me. Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Yeey.aadí.
And compared to the last week's phrase, Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí.
Yeey.aadí.
Doing a comparison, so seeing them written with their English equivalents. Oops, I have a typo here. 1 second, please. The top phrase, repeat after me again. Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí. And I put in bold the English equivalent. It is good that you have come here. And does anyone remember what this P in brackets means? Plural. Yeey. So when I say this phrase, am I talking to one person or multiple people?
Many.
Yeah.
More than one.
Yeey, more than one. And then comparing, repeat after me. Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí. Same exact phrase, only now instead of we're saying it's good that you've come here, we're saying thank you for coming here. So these are both phrases that you can use to make a group of people or multiple people feel welcome and appreciated to the space where you are. And we'll have more of a discussion on that later.
Can I ask a quick question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry. I like questions.
Haat, is that the verb in the sentence?
Good question. It's not the verb. Does anyone in this class know where the verb is in this first phrase? Yak'éi haat yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi.
Yeah, actually, you're right. There are two. One of the verbs is yak'éi, which means it is good. The other verb in this phrase is yeey.aadí, and that's this whole part all makes up the components of one verb. It tells
Okay.
us who came, that they came versus they will come or something like that, and that it was multiple people.
So what part of grammar is the haat?
Haat in Lingít is called a post, or wait, I need to look it up actually. I'll ask René because I don't know the linguistic part of speech to describe it.
It doesn't have like a literal translation
It does.
necessarily.
It does. It means to hear. So the ha indicates the area that is around the speaker right here. And then the T at the end indicates arrival. So to this place.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions. Okay, so that we can hear, you have heard me and each other pronounce this phrase, so that we can hear an elder speaking it, I pulled up this recording. I'm going to show you a really good resource called Lingít X. That means hear it in Lingít. And it's a mini phrase book and accompanying CD, which René has put on his website for free. So I'll put the link in the chat for folks so that you have it. And then there it is. And I'm just going to take you to it. So if you go to clinkitlanguage.com and you want to find this on your own, you have the link, but you can also find it on your own. So go to beginning materials under the resources tab and scroll all the way down to, you'll see Lingít ʼéináx, which is means say it in Lingít. That's the phrase book, as well as Lingít ʼéináx, hear it in Lingít. And this is also a mini phrase book and CD. The recordings are recorded by Johnny Marks. It's also put together by Richard Downhauer and Nora Marks Downhauer and Carrie Edwards. So the text is this link and the audio files are here. I already have them both open. And the phrase that we practiced today is under track 27. So this is if you click Lingít ʼéináx, it'll take you to this PDF. And then if you click audio files, it'll take you to this Google folder with all of the files. So the way I find the audio that matches the phrase is right here. I see track 27. And there's 2 discs. So this is disc 1, track 27. And then number 27 says goodbye. So I'm going to open it and play it for you.
It's time for me to go.
Hang on. One sec. Okay. I'm going to go to the page and play it again so that you can read along. So I'll just make this a little bigger. Track 27 is right here. So we're starting here. You'll hear the English and then the Lingít, and I'll start the recording over. Okay, here
Bless
we
you.
go. Bless you.
It's time for me to go. I've got to run. I'm leaving now. Thank you for coming.
Gunalchéesh.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Thank you all for coming.
Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí. Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Okay, any questions on that? So
Gunalchéesh means thank you, right?
yes,
Oh,
Gunalchéesh
thank
means
you.
thank you. Yeah, yeah, oh wow. So let's practice it again. Since we focused on Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí, and we know that means you're addressing multiple people. What does this S in brackets mean by comparison?
Singular.
Singular. So this, if anyone had the question, how do you thank one person for coming? The answer is, repeat after me, Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
And then for multiple people, Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Yeah. So in Lingít, you use an entirely different word for the verb to walk, depending on whether it's one person walking or multiple people walking. You use a completely different word. So let's practice these starting from yigoodí. One moment.
Coming.
Okay, I'm going to rewind.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, so I'll play the Lingít and then I'll pause it and let's all repeat as soon as he's finished.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
And I'm going to play it again.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Gunalchéesh haat
Gunalchéesh
yigoodí.
haat yigoodí.
Yeah. And the next one.
Thank you all for coming.
Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Gunalchéesh haat yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Good job. Any questions on that so far?
Can you put yigoodí with the phrase Yak'éi haat?
Yes, you can. So that's a good question. Yak'éi haat yigoodí would mean what?
It is good that you've come, but with one person.
Yeah, away. So let's add a slide for that. So we'll do plural people here. And we'll do singular people here. So we're going to change yeey.aadí to yigoodí. And we're going to change the same thing, yeey.aadí to yigoodí. Thank you for coming here, singular and singular. Good question. So now you got kind of 4 phrases you can use for the effort and the time of learning mostly just one. Are there any more questions or comments on that so far?
Can you pronounce yigoodí one more time?
Yeah, so the y in yigoodí is short and low. So repeat just this part after me. Yeah.
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 And then goodí. Now repeat the whole word. Yigoodí.
Yigoodí.
One more time. Yigoodí.
Yigoodí.
Now starting with haat. Haat yigoodí.
Haat yigoodí.
Now starting with Gunalchéesh. Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Gunalchéesh haat yigoodí.
Good. Now let's do the other one. Repeat after me. Yak'éi haat yigoodí.
Yak'éi, haat, yigoodí.
And for multiple people, repeat after me. Yak'éi, haat, yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi, haat, yeey.aadí.
And Gunalchéesh, haat, yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh, haat, yeey.aadí.
Haat, yeey.aadí.
For yeey.aadí, is it for addressing multiple people or just one?
Multiple.
That's right. And how do you address just one person? What's the word?
Yigoodí.
Yigoodí.
Yeah, away.
Yigoodí.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. So let's drill it again. The whole phrase, repeat after me. Aadí.
Aadí.
Yee.
Yee.
And it's important you pronounce this second Y. Repeat after me. Yee.
Yee.
Yeey.aadí.
Yeey.aadí.
Haat.
Haat.
Haat yeey.aadí.
Haat, yeey.aadí.
Cheesh.
Cheesh.
Gunal.
Gunalchéesh.
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 Gunalchéesh, haat yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh, haat,
yeey.aadí.
Yak'éi, haat yeey.aadí.
Yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh, haat yeey.aadí.
Gunalchéesh, haat, yeey.aadí.
One more time. Yak'éi, haat yeey.aadí.
Haat, yeey.aadí.
Okay. Hopefully that phrase is feeling like, okay, I get it. Are there any more questions on it so far? The reason I like to do drills is that it makes it second nature to say the phrase. By the way, thank you for filling out your surveys, your pre-class surveys. I read your responses and I feel like I know you a little bit better. If you haven't had a chance yet to fill it out, it's not too late. If you do it this week, I'll still use your responses as I design my lesson plans moving forward. But what they do is help me mark my own success as your teacher, as it's my job to help you improve and stay connected with your goals. So some of you responded in your surveys that when you go to speak in public or if you run into somebody at the store and you want to speak in Tlingit, you find yourself stumbling a little bit over your words. This is very human and very common when you're choosing to communicate in a different language from what you normally do. And so the beauty of drills is that you step into that space and you're like, oh, I know this phrase. I said it 100 times on Tuesday. So if it starts to feel like you're like, okay, I get it, just know that okay, I see some of you didn't receive the questionnaire. I'll put it in the link. I'll put the link in the chat at the end of class so that it doesn't distract you, but that you also have a chance to fill it out. So the beauty of drills is that you drill it until it's second nature. You see a group of people and you just say, Yak'éi, haat yeey.aadí. You see one person and you say, Yak'éi, haat yigoodí. So that's why we drill it. You'll continue to see this. I won't drill like this much every single week, but you will see drills with me. And talking more about the conversation context. So when it comes to when do you use this phrase, This phrase is meant to make people feel welcome and appreciated for coming to where you are. What are some social situations where you would use it? So you saw mine. I gave you the context in the beginning of my introduction. I started it with yeey.aadí before I talked about who I am, because for me, the first thing I want a group of people to know is that I'm happy you came, that it's good that you came, that I'm grateful you came. It's a welcoming phrase. So, what are some other situations where you might use Yak'éi or Gunalchéesh yeey.aadí?
You want us to raise our hands or just?
You can just unmute your mic, start to talk. You can raise your hand, you can type it in the chat, whatever
I
works.
was thinking about when your family comes over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when they come in the door, Yak'éi yeey.aadí.
At the start of a meeting.
Yeah. At the start of a meeting, I love it.
In an introduction?
Yep, in your self-introduction or in anyone's introduction. Somebody said in the chat, at a payoff party.
At a presentation.
Presentation.
Can you explain why there's no like hello or like general greeting in Tlingit?
I wish I could, but I can't. I don't actually know. I'm trying to think of things people usually say to me when they see me. When I talk to Tlingit elders, usually we just get right into conversation or say it's cold outside or ask how you are. Wasa yigoodí. Yeah, but I don't know of people saying hello in Tlingit.
So you would just start talking to the person, right? That's traditionally you would just start talking.
Or I'll say how I feel. Like if I see one of my language mentors at Fred's, I've said before, Yak'éi, it's good to see you. If it feels like it's good to see them. And then they usually give me a hug, so I know that's appreciated. That's a greeting. If they came to help me with a class, Gunalchéesh yigoodí, I'm thanking them for coming. So I'm still showing my appreciation, but maybe just being a little bit more specific about it.
I just live down the street. Can I run home, get it, and take it, and I'll come back?
Any more questions or ideas for when you might use this phrase?
At the beginning of a class.
Yeah, when you're teaching a class at the beginning. I pretty much always start a class with one of these phrases. First off, because it's how I feel. I want people to feel welcome, but it also kind of serves as an anchor phrase for helping me remember to get back into the way of thinking that allows me to speak Tlingit. So just changing the code in my mind of how I'm going to communicate how I feel. It's nice to have a phrase that you've drilled and practiced and you're comfortable with to anchor you in that headspace. Okay, these are all really good. Are there any questions so far? If not, we're going to do an open exploration. Since I opened this book for you, we're going to go through and I'm going to let you just tell me which ones you want to hear and I'll open the phrase. So we will look at Lingít X. I'm going to zoom out. And I'll let you pick a starting point and then we'll listen to a whole track. So anything from here that pops out at anybody?
Can we do 34? Where are you from? Where do you live?
Yes. So track 34, disc 1, where are you from? I'm going to go into the Google folder and find 34.
Where
Okay, so I'm going to hit play and then jump over to the text so we can read along.
are you from?
Gut akwan sawa.
Once,
Gut akwan sawa.
once, okay.
I am from Chilkoot.
Gut kwan yahat.
On.
Gut kwan yahat.
Where do you live?
Guk saya iyate.
See ya. Hit.
Guk saya iyate.
See ya.
I live in Juneau.
Jantik ihini kaya hajate. Jantik ihini kaya hajate.
Who is that?
Atu sawa. Atu sawa.
That's my friend.
Akhoni awa.
Okay, since
Akhoni awa.
that was kind of fast, this time I'm going to play it again and pause it so we can all repeat after Johnny. So I'm going to go to the beginning. And I need to do it like this. I need to split my screen or open it separately. 1 second. 34. Open this in a different software. So
Where are you from?
Okay. So are we ready? Yeey na? Okay.
Gut akwan sawa.
Amy, you have a question? Okay. Okay, no problem. So let's do.
So it's not too bad. It could be worse, but yeah, I mean, yeah. So we just have to make sure that everything goes well and smooth and.
Okay, so here we go.
Gut akwan sawa.
Good Kwanzaa.
Kwan sawai.
This word that one of you mentioned earlier in class is what, and when I'm talking to you, this is how I say you to one person. So repeat after me. What? And then starting with this one is sa. So starting with sa to the end, repeat after me. Sa what? And just this word, kwan. The underline K we'll focus on in some of our next classes, but basically you're stopping the air in your throat when you say it. So you're using your tongue and kind of reaching back and saying kwan. Yeah. And then the first two words, gut kwan.
Kwan sawai.
The whole phrase, repeat after me. Gut kwanzaa wa. Where are you from is how they translated it in English. Kwan is a word that relates to your heritage homelands. So the people of Ak, of Little Lake above Juneau, are Ak Kwan. They're the people ancestrally from Little Lake. So one more time, repeat this phrase after me. Gut Kwan sa wa. And then his answer, repeat after me. Gut Kwan ayachat. And we haven't gone over some of these sounds yet, so just continue being a good sport. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to nail it yet, but repeating just these last two words after me. Ayachat.
Yak'éi.
And then the first two words. Yigoodí. And the whole thing. Yigoodí. Now we're going to play Johnny, and I'll pause and we'll repeat after him.
Good akpan sawa.
Good kwan sawa.
I am from Chilkoot.
Good kwan ayachat. Good kwan ayachat.
Where do you live?
Good saya iyate.
So you see all three vowel sets in this word yeey are all low tone, so it should be yeey. That word is monotone, it's the same tone. The previous word right before it is high tone, so repeat after me, yay. So repeat these last two words, yeey. And then these first two words, guksa. And the whole phrase, and the whole phrase, guksa yeey. So let's hear him say it again.
Good saya iyate.
Guksa yeey. Any questions so far? I see someone in the chat wrote hoots nu kwana yechat. That's awesome.
Could you describe what our mouths would be doing for the hoot kwan?
Yeah. So zooming in on hoot kwan, the K, we're going to start with that sound. You know when you hear a raven making sounds in the back of their throat? It's like to imitate it, you use this part of your throat. It's the same part of your vocal instrument that you're tapping into for a hoot. So you can feel it in your throat when you say hoot. Yeah, the underlying the underlined K tells you that you're pronouncing it in the back of your throat. So with the L right before it, the Lingít L, you're breathing, you're putting the tip of your tongue in the back of your top front teeth, just like when we said Gunalchéesh. So just make that sound. Now you're going to make this interesting transition. When you learn to play guitar and you go from certain chords, it's like certain transitions are advanced. This is a similar transition, but I want you to try it anyway. So you're going to go from saying and you're going to transition to hoot without making any vowels in between. So repeat after me. Hoot. And do it nice and slow. The vowels are low tone. Hoot. Now the first two words. Hoot kwan. One more time, just the first word. Yeah. Yeah.
That was the best Raven impression I've ever heard, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I like ravens. I just got to be in a play. I'm just going to brag for a second. I got to be in Frank Katas's play Where the Summit Meets the Stars because he submitted it to Native Voices in Los Angeles and they accepted it and it was a big hit. So one of the roles was a Tlingit language speaking role and he asked me to go kind of last minute and I was able to. So that anyway, that was one of the things I did. I opened the play, I welcomed everybody, I spoke to them in Tlingit, and then I imitated raven sounds throughout the play, and it was really fun. But yeah, Frank Katassa's Where the Summit Meets the Stars. He is an awesome playwright. I met him when we went through the teaching program together for Tlingit language that Sea Alaska Heritage sponsored for us, as well as UAS. And he teaches in Juneau. Yeah, I was just proud of him. Okay, we're out of time. That was fun. Open exploration time is always fun. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about what it means to be in a multi-level class. I don't see any issues with anyone here so far. Basically, sometimes you are going to feel very challenged and sometimes you might feel like this is repetitive and you're sitting back. But I think it's really beautiful when people of different abilities come together and participate together. We'll talk more about that. Looking ahead for next week, we are going to continue vowels. We're gonna review these phrases that we learned. And then I'm going to take you to the next line of my self-introduction, yigoodí. And just as we did today, we'll kind of scaffold off of that for people who are already familiar, things that are related and just slightly different to this phrase. I know that some of you and your goals are to introduce yourself, and some of you also have a goal to be able to introduce another person, which is also a really polite and thing to do and a good way to honor like an elder if an elder comes to your class. If you can introduce them in Tlingit, that's always nice. So we'll look at that. Homework is to check out the phrase, that resource I took you through today. That link is in the chat. Again, you can find it by just going to tlingitlanguage.com under the resources tab. It's Lingít X. So as you're able, as time allows, just click through it and listen to different audio files. And then go ahead and review vowels in this video called An Introduction to Tlingit Sounds. So I'm going to put this in the chat.
Are you going to add this, send this, this link?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in, I'll put it in the chat. And then how about I also ask Ati to email it? Would that help?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
great.
Okay. We'll do that because I accidentally just deleted the link anyway. And I don't want to reload it because there's ads. I preloaded this video so that you wouldn't have to listen to the ads. But the link will take you to a video that helps you with the sounds. So it's just good practice for home.
I tried to get on, I went to tlingitelders.com and then to resources.
You're close. You're very close. It should be tlingitlanguage.com.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to do it on the screen right now for people. So if you go tlingitlanguage.com, it'll take you to the home screen of this website and then go to resources and scroll down and click this second link, beginning materials.
Okay.
So if you click beginning materials, it has all my favorites in here. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll see Lingít X followed by Lingít ʼéináx. And the one we use today is Lingít ʼéináx. Hear it in Tlingit. Juanita, you have a question?
I just like help my introduction out here. I'm just wondering how I would say. I'm just wondering if I'm saying it right when I say these are my children. Yak'éi, Kusam, Kuk, Kut, Anawati, Yak'éi, Is that how I say my children?
Yak'éi is my child. Yak'éi is my children.
I have one question.
Yeah.
How do I my grandson?
Dutchchen. My grandchild is Dutchchen. Your audio is kind of breaking up, like maybe it's a bad connection, but did that answer your question?
Yes, can you see that?
Yes,
can you see that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, my grandchild Dutchchen. Since we're on the topic of kinship, just so if people want to look it up on their own at home, you can go in the beginning Lingít workbook on that same resources tab. And if you scroll down through the table of contents, there's a section on kinship, and it's right here under the chapter called Adusawa. Who is that? You can go to kinship terms. It's on page 176. And there's an explanation of kinship terms, and then they're all listed here. The hyphen in front of the kinship term means that you need to indicate whose person that is. So mother doesn't exist on its own. When you're talking about mothers, you say whose mother. Tla, my mother. Same with the rest of these. Grandchild should be here. So you would say for my, and then Dutchchen. Yak'éi is written as children, so I need to ask René about this. I thought to make it plural you would say Yak'éi, but it says children, so Yak'éi might be correct. I'll ask René.
Okay, that's what I have on is Yak'éi.
Okay. That seems correct. So I'll double check and follow up with you.
How do you spell
Is A and then underline X.
That's what I wrote. I'm so excited. Thank you.
Oh, good. Awesome. Okay. We're out of time, you guys, but I'll draft an email and ask Ati to forward it to you with all our links for our homework assignments. And until next week, I'll see you.
Where can we find the recordings from last week?
So René is going to go ahead and upload those to the same website where we found them last spring, and I'll forward that link as well. But it should be on lingitlanguage.com under the tab for our home screen. Let me just show you. So lingitlanguage.com under learning Lingit. If you scroll down to our class page, which is here, Gunalchéesh and KTOO, click it and scroll down to the recordings. Here's where you can find the recordings from last spring. And René is also going to upload our class recordings here.
Gunalchéesh.
Johansson.
Gunalchéesh.
Gunalchéesh. Yigoodí. Gunalchéesh, Johan. I'll see you next Tuesday.